You cover me in the midst of it all. You love me. You gave me another chance.
Hi everyone, I'm so sorry. I was looking for a Bible verse that I wanted to read before I wanted to share the message. This message was not planned. It's one that I really felt in my heart that I needed to share. Friday, it all started Friday. I had such a great day, and God did so much for me on Saturday, and I had such a overwhelming feeling of joy. And I started to think about how my life has been aligned with the things of God, and how everything just seemed to be falling into place. And my message that I have today is it's not one of content that I had saved or something that I wrote in the past. This is just something that I was thinking about on Friday, and I actually took some notes down because I was thinking about so many things. I didn't write everything because everyone that knows me know I talk a lot, so I just wrote down some of the things that I felt that were important. But before I start, I want to read Proverbs 25, and it says, "Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out." And that verse, for those that understand it, if you want, you can go back and read it more in depth. But it has a lot to do with what I'm feeling, it has a lot to do with how my life has been aligned. And when you do certain things or certain things come into your life begins to feel aligned. It begins to feel right. And I'm in such a happy place. And I was thinking of where I have been in the past and where I'm at right now. And it just all has to do with how my life has been aligned. And when your life is aligned with God and where it's supposed to be, and you're walking in the path that you're supposed to be walking, no one has to tell you. You're going to feel it. You're going to have this feeling inside of joy. You're not going to have this feeling of being lost. And that's how I'm feeling right now. And I think that it has a lot to do with the choices that we make. God is such a merciful God that He gave us the choice to make right decisions or to make wrong decisions. He allows us to make these decisions or do certain choices, make certain choices in life. And our choices at times, it deviates us from the path. It deviates us from our purpose, from where we're supposed to be headed, and deviates us from living, just being so connected with God. And you don't feel lost. You just feel so happy. I'm trying to put it in words what I'm feeling, and it's such a great feeling. And for many years I have not felt like this, and I finally just feel like this is Ruth, this is me, this is the real Ruth Delgado. And there's one major factor that played a major factor that played a role in the alignment of my life. But before I speak about that, I just want to speak on some other details that I also think that did assist in helping me to be aligned with God, and align as to, I can feel my life just directing where it's supposed to be. One thing that I thought about, I thought about so much yesterday. I had so much thoughts, but one thing that did cross my mind was the 10 Commandments. And usually when we think about the 10 Commandments, we think of that's the way a Christian should live. You have to follow those rules, and if you want to be a Christian. But to be honest, I start thinking about it. The 10 Commandments is not just about the way a Christian should live. Our God is so wise. Our God is he's has so much wisdom. Honestly, yes, the 10 Commandments is the way of living for a Christian person. But also, if anyone follow those commandments, believe me, you'll have a life with less stress, with less headaches. And who doesn't want a life without stress and headaches? It's not just about living just the way, yes, like I said, it is the way for a Christian person to live. But anyone that follows those commandments will have a more peaceful life. Another thing that I thought about was we have to learn to love anyone, everyone, even those that hurt us, even those that cause anger, have caused so much pain. Sometimes we gotta learn to love from far. You also need to learn to remove out of your life the things that cause anger, sorrow, pain, because when you're sad, everyone can see it. You especially can feel it. And who wants to walk around being sad? That's another thing that I think we should do if we want to align our life. One other detail before I speak about what played a major role in my life is spending time with God. When you spend time with God, you have to try your best to set a time out that you can spend time with God, that spend time praying, spend time reading his word and worship. Like I said in my other video, I can't sing. I cannot sing at all, but I love to worship. I sing all the time in my house. My babies can tell you I love to worship and sing. But I do my concerts here at home, nowhere else. At home, I have my concert. When we spend time with God, you set that time aside. You remove yourself from distraction. And doing that, you're able to be silent enough to hear what God wants to tell you, what he has to say to you, what he wants you to do. Sometimes when you spend time with God and you have that quiet time and you pray, sometimes he might even tell you there's someone that you know that needs prayer. That person might not even express their problem or issue they're having with anyone, but as we know, our God knows everything. Sometimes God will let you know, listen, this person needs prayer, or you know, sometimes you will even have a thought of this person, and sometimes you may call them or send them a message, how are you doing today? And then you find out, you know what, they really did needed me to call them and speak with them and see how they're doing. We have to, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I'm working on trying to spend more time with God. This is, you know, it's all that I'm sharing here is something that I'm working on perfecting. So it's just so important for us to find a special time throughout the day. I know we're, especially me as a single mom, I'm very busy, but I try to always find time to spend time with God. Now here I'm going to talk about what played a major role in my life being aligned with God, or aligned as to where it's supposed to be. Right now, like I said, I'm in a happy place. I don't feel lost anymore. I don't feel like there's a void in my life. I don't feel like something I'm supposed to do. And even, yes, though I might have bad days or days that are not so good, I don't have so much fear. I feel safe. I feel like it's going to be okay. And no one has to tell me that I'm walking towards or doing what I'm supposed to do, or you know, Ruth, you're doing well, because I feel it. When you're aligned with God, or you're aligned with your purpose, or you're aligned with just where you're supposed to be on a whole, you feel it. No one has to tell you. Now, I'm going to talk about what played a major role in this alignment in my life. And I know some of you guys watching this is not going to agree, but listen, this is my personal story. Like I said, my purpose in my channel is to be very transparent and talk about my life. And you know, I had such an overwhelming feeling in a good way of joy. I just felt this is something I had to share. And what played a major factor in my life was the church. And I know that some of you guys may not agree, because some of us say that the church is filled with individuals that are so judgmental. Some of us has, you know, including myself, has been hurt in the past. But, you know, we have to remember that the church is a gathering of real people. People like you and me, and we're not perfect. And yes, you might find someone that's going to hurt you in church, but that's what we are going to church, to better ourselves, to better our character, to better ourselves, to have the love of Christ, and let that reflect, and eventually we all will get better. But you know, my encouragement is, don't let these things stop you from going to church. And you know, sometimes when you do invite someone, they say, oh no, I'm not ready yet, I'm not ready to go to church. But you know, the church to me is like when you're going to the doctor. You don't go to the doctor when you're feeling fine. You go to the doctor when you're not feeling well. And that's what the church is. The church is like our hospital, our spiritual hospital, our place to improve ourselves. And when you go to church, you're going to receive a word that you need. You know, it's a word that's going to change your life. It's a word that you need. And sometimes when the man or woman of God, or the person that's given the word, is talking, it might not be something that you don't want to hear, but it's something that you need. It's not going to be like when you're sitting down and watching the TV and you're saying, you know what, I don't like what I'm hearing, so I'm going to fast forward it, or I'm going to change the channel until I'm able to see something that I want to see, or let me fast forward until I can hear something that I want to hear. I might have to stop this video, and actually I'm looking at the time. I didn't want it to be this long, but I'm going to stop it right now, and I'm going to do part 2. I just don't want to disregard some of the points that I'm about to discuss, because I feel they're so important. So I'm going to stop it right here. So stay tuned for my video part 2 of Being Aligned. Thank you for watching.